Let me ask you something simple. When was the last time you looked at a bunch of spinach, a handful of kale, or a plate of bok choy and thought to yourself, this could be the reason my legs feel stronger and I sleep better at night? It might sound far-fetched, but I've spent over 2 decades working with adults over 60, and let me tell you, the smallest decisions you make in your meals can completely reshape how your body moves, rests, and recovers. And sometimes it begins with a leaf. Doc, I didn't think vegetables could fix my leg cramps. That's what Nancy, a 72-year-old patient of mine from Oregon, told me. She was sharp, funny, independent, and like many of her generation, believed that meat gave her strength and vegetables were just colorful extras on the plate. But every morning her legs would feel stiff. Sometimes she'd get sudden cramps during her early walks or feel her calves tightening just sitting on the edge of her bed. One day she came in frustrated. Is it circulation? Nerves? Do I need medication? I looked at her food journal. Hardly any greens, not much magnesium, not enough calcium. No vitamin K, so I said gently, Nancy, what if your cramps aren't a disease, but a message from your body asking for more green? What's so special about dark leafy greens? Here's the thing, your muscles don't work in isolation. They rely on a beautiful orchestra of minerals, calcium, magnesium, potassium, vitamin K, to contract and relax in rhythm. Imagine trying to play a piano without tuning it. That's what happens to your muscles when you're low on magnesium or calcium. They become unpredictable, jumpy, tight. Dark leafy greens like spinach, kale, bok choy, and broccoli are rich in these minerals. One cooked cup of spinach gives you up to 250 mg of calcium and nearly 160 mg of magnesium. They also provide vitamin K, essential for calcium regulation and blood clotting. And antioxidants like lutein and beta-carotene improve circulation, especially to your legs. In short, greens are not just food, they're natural muscle regulators. I didn't grow up eating kale, Doc. Neither did I. But I didn't grow up with smartphones either. And yet here we are using new things to support how we live. Dark leafy greens aren't trendy, they're timeless. Your grandmother may not have called it kale, but I'll bet she had some wild greens in soup or porridge. What matters isn't the name, it's the function. Real life, Nancy's transformation. After that visit, Nancy agreed to try adding greens. She put spinach in her morning omelet, added kale to her lunch soup, tossed bok choy into dinner stir-fry. 3 weeks later, she came in and said, I don't wake up stiff anymore. I walk more easily. I feel looser. That's not magic, that's minerals. The science behind the story. As we age, our bodies absorb fewer nutrients from food. And yet, that's exactly when we need more support for our nerves, bones, and muscles. Dark leafy greens are alkaline forming, reducing inflammation and supporting muscle recovery. Rich in fiber, balancing blood sugar and promoting steady energy. Low in calories but dense in nutrients, which means they nourish without overwhelming digestion. And here's a secret. They're best absorbed when combined with healthy fats like olive oil or with vitamin C-rich foods like orange slices or bell peppers. But Doc, I'm on blood thinners. Excellent point. If you're taking medications like warfarin, you'll need to monitor your vitamin K intake. That doesn't mean avoiding greens. It means keeping it consistent and working with your doctor. The benefits of greens are too great to throw away. How to start if you're new to greens. Steam or sauté greens lightly to make them easier to digest. Mix them into foods you already love, eggs, soups, even smoothies. Aim for 1 to 2 cups a day, spread across meals. You don't need to become a vegetarian. You just need to let the green in a little more each day. A thought for your evening. When I eat greens, I don't just think of nutrients. I think of respect for the body that has carried me for 60 years, for the legs that walk me to the kitchen, for the... Let me ask you this. Have you ever taken a walk on a warm morning only to feel your leg tighten halfway through? Or maybe you bent down to tie your shoes and your calf cramped so suddenly it made you wince. For people over 60, these small yet sharp reminders happen more often than we'd like to admit. And while we often blame old age, the real issue may be something simpler, something we overlook every day: electrolytes. And one of the gentlest, most natural sources of electrolytes isn't found in a pharmacy, it's in a coconut. I thought coconut water was just for summer. So did Alina, a 66-year-old retired teacher living in the dry heat of Arizona. Every morning she'd take a walk around her neighborhood park. But halfway through, she often had to stop, not because of tiredness, but because of sudden leg cramps or heaviness. "It's like my legs freeze up," she told me. "I have to pause, stretch, and wait for the tightness to pass." Her daughter, who works in community health, suggested something simple. Try switching your morning water to coconut water, just one small glass. 2 weeks later, Alina returned with a smile. "I didn't expect much," she admitted, "but now I walk the whole route without stopping. My legs feel lighter, I feel more awake, it's like something clicked." That click wasn't magic. It was balance, electrolyte balance. What makes coconut water so special? As a doctor, I've seen people try sports drinks, fancy powders, expensive hydration supplements. But for seniors, these can be too sugary, too artificial, or simply too stimulating. Coconut water, on the other hand, offers 600 mg of potassium per cup, even more than a banana. Magnesium, calcium, and sodium, the 4 key minerals your muscles need to contract and relax. No caffeine, very low sugar, and almost no calories, which makes it safe for most seniors, including those with mild diabetes or heart concerns. It's not just refreshing, it's restorative. Electrolytes, the unsung heroes of muscle health. Most people don't realize this, but cramps aren't just about potassium. They often stem from a broader imbalance, what we call electrolyte deficiency. And this can happen easily in older adults. We drink less water. We take medications like diuretics, water pills. We sweat even from light activity but don't replenish what's lost. Coconut water helps fill that gap, gently, naturally, and effectively. When should you drink it? I recommend 1 small glass, about 240 ml in the morning, or after light physical activity like walking, gardening, or cleaning. Think of it as a daily recharge for your muscles. But doc, can I drink too much? Great question. Yes, you can have too much potassium, especially if you have chronic kidney disease or are on certain medications. That's why I suggest no more than 1 glass per day, and always consult your doctor if you have kidney issues. Also, always choose fresh coconut water or unsweetened, no preservative packaged coconut water. Avoid anything labeled coconut-flavored drink or with added sugars or colors. The story of Raymond, I call it kindness in a cup. Raymond, 74, was a former engineer living in humid Florida. He wasn't very hydrated and used to get calf cramps when standing up after watching TV. I suggested the same thing, a small cup of coconut water each morning. Weeks later, he came back saying, "It's subtle, but I feel steadier. My legs don't jolt when I stand. I call it kindness in a cup." And he's not wrong. Coconut water is more than a drink. It's a message. It says, I'm taking time to restore what's been lost. I'm listening to my body before it starts yelling. I'm choosing the gentle path over the aggressive one. For older adults, hydration isn't about quantity, it's about quality. And coconut water strikes that balance perfectly. My gentle reminders: stick to 1 glass a day. Avoid brands with added sugar or preservatives. If you have kidney concerns, ask your doctor first. Sip it slowly, don't chug it like a sports drink. This is not about fixing a symptom, it's about supporting a system, your system. A reflection for you. What if the reason for your nighttime cramps, your stiff morning legs, or that weird twitch in your thigh, isn't aging but dehydration? And what if the solution? Let me take you into a moment. Imagine it's evening. You've spent the day on your feet, maybe walking the dog, maybe tidying the garden. You sit down with a sense of accomplishment, but as you relax, your thigh begins to twitch. A sharp twinge, then tightness. You stretch, massage, and it eases, but you know it'll be back. That's what happened to Linda. My legs were fine all day, but they'd cramp at night. Linda, 70, lives in rainy Seattle. Each afternoon, she walked with her dog, Max. It was her time, her rhythm, her therapy, but her body began pushing back. Sometimes the cramps would wake me at 2 a.m., she told me. I'd sit up, rub my calves, drink water, but the tightness lingered like a ghost. She tried potassium, she stretched, nothing truly worked, until her son, a young doctor, asked, "Mom, what if you swapped red meat for salmon just a few nights a week?" What changed? In 3 weeks, Linda wasn't waking up in pain anymore. She felt more relaxed at bedtime. Her walks became smoother. And her words, not mine. Salmon became my quiet friend. I didn't expect food to have such power. Let's unpack that. Salmon isn't just tasty, it's a muscle-healing powerhouse. 100 grams of cooked salmon gives you about 30 mg of magnesium, enough to support proper muscle function. High levels of omega-3 fatty acids, powerful anti-inflammatory agents. A natural dose of vitamin D, supporting bone health and calcium absorption. But here's what really matters. Salmon helps your muscles recover, your vessels relax, and your nerves communicate better. Why magnesium and omega-3 matter for seniors? As we age, our bodies don't just get stiffer. They get more sensitive to mineral imbalances and inflammation. Low magnesium can cause overactive muscle fibers, poor sleep quality, increased risk of cramps after light exertion. Inflammation, even mild, can reduce blood flow to the legs, causing a heavy sensation when walking, cold feet despite warm weather, twitching or cramping when resting. Salmon helps address both, but doc, fish is expensive. It can be, but think of it this way. You can spend money on prevention or more money on correction. Plus, not every meal has to include fresh, wild-caught salmon. Frozen fillets are affordable and nutritious. Mackerel, sardines, herring, all rich in omega-3s and magnesium. Even canned salmon in moderation works. Just watch the sodium levels. How to eat salmon like it's medicine. 2 to 3 times a week. Portion: 100-120 grams per meal, about the size of your palm. Cooking: bake, steam, or pan-sear lightly. Avoid deep frying. It destroys omega-3s and adds inflammatory oils. Pair your salmon with dark leafy greens for calcium and vitamin K. Sweet potatoes, rich in potassium and fiber. A drizzle of olive oil for enhanced absorption. This isn't just dinner, it's therapy. A note on medication: if you take blood thinners like warfarin, have a history of gout, or are allergic to seafood, talk to your doctor before adding fatty fish regularly. The story of Richard: my circulation came back online. Richard, 68, had tightness in his calves after standing too long. After switching to salmon 3 times per week and reducing processed meat, he reported something surprising. "It's not just the cramps that stopped. I don't feel cold in my feet anymore. It's like my blood remembered how to flow." He was right. Salmon improves endothelial function, which means your blood vessels become more flexible, more responsive. For older adults, that's gold. Salmon is more than food, it's fuel for healing. It doesn't make promises it can't keep. It doesn't need to shout. It just goes to work, silently rebuilding what age and inflammation have worn down. If you're over 60 and your legs ache more than they used to, if sleep feels less restorative, if you notice small cramps, have you ever held a small handful of seeds in your palm and thought, "How could something this tiny possibly make a difference in my body?" If that thought has ever crossed your mind, you're not alone. I used to think the same thing, until I started paying attention to what these little seeds do, not just in test tubes, not just on nutrition labels, but in the lives of real people, especially those in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. "Doc, I thought seeds were just snacks." That's what Miriam told me. She's 74, lives in Colorado, and still loves tending her small backyard garden. But she came to me one day with a concern. "Doc, I get this uncomfortable tightening in my legs, especially after I water the plants or stand for too long. It's not painful exactly, but it makes me nervous." She wasn't dehydrated. Her potassium was okay. But she was missing something else. So I asked her a simple question. "Have you ever tried adding pumpkin seeds to your meals?" She laughed. "Isn't that just something kids munch on during Halloween?" What happened next surprised her. Miriam agreed to try just 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds per day. She sprinkled them over oatmeal in the morning, added a few into her yogurt at lunch. A month later, she came back smiling. "I didn't change anything else, but I can stand longer without that awful tightness. I feel more steady." What she didn't realize was that she had just replenished 2 essential minerals most older adults are silently missing: magnesium and zinc. Why magnesium is your muscle's best friend. Let's talk basics. Your muscles contract and relax based on electrical signals in your nerves. Magnesium acts like a traffic light, calming down overactive nerves and preventing those sudden spasms or cramps. And the older we get, the easier it is to become deficient in magnesium. Less absorption through the gut. More magnesium lost through medications like diuretics. Less variety in our diets. Zinc, on the other hand, is your repair mineral. It helps your body recover damaged tissue, supports nerve healing, and keeps the immune system sharp. And guess what? Pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds are rich in both. What's in a tablespoon? Just 2 tablespoons a day gives you around 150 mg of magnesium, a generous dose of zinc, iron, copper, and even a touch of protein, plus anti-inflammatory antioxidants like vitamin E. It's like swallowing a tiny multivitamin, except it's food, not a pill. How to make seeds part of your day. Mix into morning oatmeal. Add to salads or roasted vegetables. Blend into smoothies. Eat by the spoon as a light afternoon snack. Combine with chia or flax seeds for even more omega-3 and fiber. And here's a bonus tip. If chewing is difficult, you can grind the seeds and mix into soups, porridge, or yogurt. "Doc, I have high cholesterol. Can I still eat them?" Absolutely. Just follow these simple rules. Choose raw or dry roasted seeds, unsalted, and with no added sugar or oil. Avoid trail mixes that include chocolate coatings or candy pieces. Stick with 2 tablespoons a day to manage calorie intake. Seeds are nutrient-dense, not junk calories. The story of Harold, I call it my 3 p.m. reset. Harold, 69, a retired mechanic from Ohio, would often get restless legs in the afternoon. He started keeping a small container of mixed seeds at his desk. I eat a spoonful around 3 p.m., he told me. And I swear my legs feel less jittery in the evening. I sleep better too. It wasn't just placebo. The magnesium helped his muscles stay calm. The zinc supported nerve repair. And the habit itself became a ritual of care. Tiny seeds, big message. There's something poetic about it, isn't there? These seeds are tiny, so easy to ignore, but they carry dense life inside them, and when we eat them, they transfer that vitality to us. They remind us that small things done regularly matter. That nutrition doesn't need to be flashy. That aging isn't about getting weaker, but about learning to care more deeply for our bodies. A gentle reminder. If you have nut allergies, are on a low potassium or kidney diet, or are on medication that affects minerals, talk to your doctor first before adding new seeds in large amounts. Let me ask you something simple. When was the last time you looked at a banana and thought, this might help me sleep better tonight? You see, bananas have long been thought of as a kid food, soft, sweet, easy on the stomach. But the truth is, bananas might be one of the most underrated tools for muscle recovery and leg health, especially for those of us over 60. The story of Thomas, I call it my sleep fruit. Thomas, 68, lives in Florida, still quite active, enjoys gardening in the mornings and walks in the evenings. But for months he had a recurring issue, calf cramps that woke him in the middle of the night. I'd be sleeping soundly, he said, and then suddenly, bam, my leg seizes up, like someone's twisting it from the inside. He tried stretching, hydrating, changing shoes. But nothing worked until his daughter, a nurse, suggested something simple. Dad, eat a banana before bed, just one, give it 2 weeks. He gave it a shot, and just like that, the cramps started to disappear. I sleep through the night now, he told me. No jolts, no tightness. It's like my muscles finally found peace. I call it my sleep fruit. The science, why bananas help more than you think. One medium banana contains 450 mg of potassium, a magnesium, vitamin B6, a small amount of tryptophan, which helps with serotonin and melatonin production. Let's break it down. Potassium is a key player in muscle contraction and relaxation. It maintains electrical balance in your cells. Without enough potassium, your muscles become twitchy and overreactive, leading to cramps. As we age, potassium levels drop more easily due to lower fruit and veggie intake, diuretic medications, mild dehydration, reduced kidney efficiency. Magnesium and vitamin B6 team up to calm your nervous system and support sleep. And tryptophan is the cherry on top. It supports mood and rest. Timing is everything. I often tell my patients, don't just eat bananas, eat them at the right time. Try one in the morning for sustained energy and steady blood pressure. Or eat one 2 hours before bed to support muscle calm and restful sleep. But doc, I'm diabetic. Won't bananas spike my sugar? That's a valid concern. But here's the key. Choose ripe, not overripe bananas, no brown spots. Pair with protein or fat, like a handful of almonds or a spoon of peanut butter. Don't eat on an empty stomach. Combine with other fiber-rich foods. This slows sugar absorption and prevents spikes. One banana equals smart fuel. Not forbidden, just needs a little strategy. Avoid green bananas. Unless you want a gassy belly. Green bananas are high in resistant starch, good for some people, but can cause bloating and slow digestion in older adults. Stick to yellow bananas with no green at the stem. Soft but not mushy. Why I recommend bananas to nearly every senior. They're affordable, portable, pre-portioned, no cooking required. More importantly, they deliver nutrients most older adults are silently missing. And they help with more than cramps, help lower blood pressure, provide gentle energy without caffeine, soothe the stomach after medication, support mood and sleep quality. A banana is more than a snack. It's a statement, it says. I'm listening to my legs. I care about sleeping through the night. I want food that helps, not just fills. A note for those with kidney issues. If you've been told you have chronic kidney disease, talk to your doctor before eating bananas daily. Because your kidneys may not filter potassium efficiently, and too much potassium can be dangerous. But for most healthy seniors, one banana a day is not only safe, it's restorative. The power of habit. I asked one of my patients, "When's the last time you did something just for your muscles?" He paused, then smiled. Let's take a moment. Picture this, it's late afternoon. The sun is low, golden. You're sitting by the window, warm cup of tea in hand, and next to it, a small plate with a soft, orange piece of baked sweet potato. Simple, comforting. And maybe, just maybe, exactly what your legs have been waiting for. The story of Henry. I started feeling lighter after lunch. Henry is 69, a retired banker from Georgia. He enjoys gardening in the afternoon, nothing intense, just gentle tending. But every evening, especially when resting, he noticed something strange. My legs would feel tight, like there was a rope pulling at them when I sat too long. Not quite painful, but uncomfortable enough to distract me. He tried staying hydrated, tried walking more, but the issue persisted. One day, a friend from his retirement group said, "Switch out your white bread at lunch for a baked sweet potato." Simple enough, so he tried. 2 weeks later, Henry told me, "I feel full longer, my energy doesn't crash, and this is the weird part, my legs don't tighten like they used to." Why sweet potatoes matter more than you think. They're not just a nostalgic food from childhood. They're a nutrient-dense powerhouse, especially for those of us over 60. Let's break it down. One medium-sized sweet potato, tilde 130 g, contains 540-560 mg of potassium. That's more than a banana. Soluble fiber helps regulate blood sugar and cholesterol. Beta-carotene, which converts to vitamin A, supports circulation and tissue repair. A small but steady supply of magnesium and complex carbohydrates. Potassium, the muscle's secret language. Potassium keeps your muscles from firing off uncontrollably. When levels drop, even slightly, your muscle cells become irritable, especially when resting. This is why nighttime leg cramps often strike when your body is trying to wind down. Sweet potatoes gently refill that potassium reserve without overwhelming your digestion or blood sugar. Fiber that fuels without the crash. The fiber in sweet potatoes is slow digesting, meaning you stay full longer. Blood sugar stays stable. Your body gets sustained energy, not a sugar spike and crash. This is crucial for muscle endurance and even nerve signaling. Anti-inflammatory benefits. The beta-carotene and antioxidants in sweet potatoes improve capillary circulation. Think, warmer toes, less numbness. Help protect muscle and nerve tissue from low-grade inflammation. Support immune function in older adults. In short, sweet potatoes don't just feed you. They calm and protect you from the inside out. When and how to eat them. I always tell my patients, Eat one medium sweet potato per day, ideally at lunch or mid-afternoon. Avoid eating them late at night, as the starch may cause bloating for sensitive digestion. Bake, steam, or boil them. Keep the skin on if organic and clean. It's full of fiber and nutrients. Pair with protein or healthy fat, like eggs, yogurt, or olive oil, to stabilize blood sugar. Avoid frying. It destroys nutrients and creates inflammatory compounds. Doc, I have diabetes. Can I still eat sweet potatoes? Yes, but smartly. Here's how: eat them with protein or fat. Combine with non-starchy vegetables. Limit portion to half or one medium potato per meal. This keeps blood sugar steady while still getting potassium and fiber. The story of Rosaline. My legs no longer argue with me. Rosaline, 71, lives in Northern California. She'd wake up with cold feet and stiff calves. I felt like my body was working against me, she said. After adding sweet potatoes to her lunch, just a few times a week, things shifted. My legs feel more willing now. I don't dread the stairs anymore. She didn't need a supplement. She just needed a root vegetable with roots in healing. Sweet potatoes are humble, but powerful. They're not flashy, not trendy. They don't scream superfood. But in truth, they're a perfect example of what aging bodies actually need. Gentle nourishment, reliable minerals, easy digestion, warmth, comfort, and support. One last thought. What if the answer to leg stiffness, cramps, and sluggish afternoons isn't another medication, but a warm, orange root you've known your whole life? Sometimes our bodies don't ask for new tricks. They ask us to return to what's natural, to honor what's simple, and to do it consistently. Your next lunch could be the turning point. The next time you're deciding. Let me ask you a simple question. When was the last time you drank a warm glass of milk, not out of habit, but as a gift to your body? You see, there's something timeless about it. That warm, comforting sip before bed. The way it settles the nerves, the way it whispers to the muscles. It's okay now, you can rest. And if you're over 60, this tiny ritual could make a big difference in how your legs feel at night and how deeply you sleep. The untold role of calcium in leg cramps. Most people know calcium keeps our bones strong. But what many don't realize is that calcium also helps regulate nerve signals and muscle contractions. When calcium drops, even just a little, your muscles may twitch, cramp, or tighten unexpectedly. This is why low calcium levels at night are a hidden cause of leg cramps, especially in older adults. What does milk actually do? Let's break it down. 1 8-ounce 240 ml glass of milk contains around 300 mg of calcium. Vitamin D to help absorb that calcium. Tryptophan, an amino acid that helps your body produce serotonin and melatonin. A balance of protein and healthy fats to sustain you through the night. Together they calm the nervous system, soothe overactive muscles, support deeper, longer sleep. But doc, I can't drink regular milk. Totally fine. There are plant-based options that are just as effective if you choose wisely. Look for calcium-fortified almond, soy, or oat milk. No added sugars. Ideally 300 mg of calcium per cup. A touch of vitamin D or B12 for added absorption. The story of Mr. Jerry. I thought milk was for kids. Jerry, 73, lives in Iowa, a proud grandfather of 5. He came to me complaining of calf cramps always after turning in bed or climbing stairs. I figured it was just age, he shrugged. When we looked closer, we realized Jerry rarely ate dairy and had low calcium levels. So we tried something easy, one warm glass of low-fat milk before bed each night. 3 weeks later, he returned. I sleep better. My legs don't wake me up anymore, and funny enough, I feel more rested. Then he smiled and said something I'll never forget. I used to think milk was for kids. Now I know it's for people who want to sleep peacefully. When to drink it for best results? I recommend 1 glass 240 ml in the evening, about 30–60 minutes before bed. Choose warm over cold. It relaxes the digestive system and muscles. Pair with a light snack if needed, like a few almonds or a slice of banana. A note of caution: milk is wonderful for many, but not for all. Please talk to your doctor if you're taking water pills or osteoporosis medication. You've had kidney stones or struggle with calcium buildup. You have lactose intolerance, in which case lactose-free or plant milk is the way to go. And if you're watching your weight or cholesterol, choose low-fat, unsweetened versions. More than just calcium. What I love about this nightly milk ritual is that it isn't just nutritional. It's emotional, it's grounding, it reminds the body, you are safe, you are cared for, you can rest now. And that message matters more with every passing year. Why older adults often sleep better with milk. As we age, our sleep becomes lighter. Our muscles grow more reactive. We're more sensitive to mineral imbalances. And anxiety or pain can disrupt the rhythm of the night. Milk or its plant-based cousins can offer a gentle bridge into deep sleep thanks to its calcium, vitamin D, tryptophan, warmth. It's like nutritional meditation in a cup. Final thoughts, a ritual of kindness. What if tonight, instead of watching one more hour of television, you boiled a little milk, poured it into your favorite mug, added a sprinkle of cinnamon or nutmeg, and sat quietly, just breathing, not just for your muscles, but for your peace? Let me tell you something I've learned after 3 decades working with people over 60. Sometimes, the most powerful remedies don't come in a prescription bottle. They come in the palm of your hand. Yes, I'm talking about nuts, specifically walnuts and almonds. They're not just snacks. They're nutrient-rich protectors wrapped in a crunchy little shell sent by nature to help your muscles move easier, your bones stay strong, and your mind stay sharp. The story of Gloria, I started calling them my evening jewels. Gloria is 75, lives alone in Oregon, reads poetry, walks every evening after dinner. But a year ago, she came to me with 2 complaints. Her legs would ache at night, a dull, crawling tension, she described. She felt foggy some mornings, like her brain wasn't waking up with her body. We ruled out the major stuff. Her labs looked okay, sleep was decent. But I noticed something during our conversation. Gloria avoided all kinds of fats. Too afraid of weight gain, she said. That meant no nuts, no seeds, no healthy oils. I made a simple suggestion. Try adding 4 or 5 walnuts and a few almonds to your evening routine. Think of them as vitamins, natural, crunchy vitamins. She hesitated but agreed. 3 weeks later, she came back glowing. My legs feel calmer at night, she told me, and I've started calling them my evening jewels. What's really in these little powerhouses? Let's break it down. Almonds. Rich in magnesium, calcium, and vitamin E. Great for nerve and muscle relaxation. Support bone density. Contain healthy fats for sustained energy. Walnuts high in plant-based omega-3s, ALA, known to reduce inflammation. Help improve brain function and memory. Provide copper, manganese, and antioxidants that protect muscle cells. Together, they form a complete package for older adults. Anti-cramp, anti-inflammatory, memory-boosting, bone-supporting. Why magnesium matters more after 60. You've heard me say this before, but it's worth repeating. Magnesium is the mineral of muscle calm. It helps prevent a twitching, nighttime cramps, that restless leg feeling that won't let you relax. Unfortunately, many older adults are unknowingly magnesium deficient, especially if they take blood pressure pills or diuretics, have digestive issues, eat low-nutrient diets, a handful of almonds, or even better, a mix of almonds and walnuts can begin restoring that balance. Omega-3s for aging brains and blood flow. Omega-3s are like little firefighters for your body. They reduce inflammation that can irritate nerves and joints, help your blood flow more smoothly to the legs and brain, improve mental clarity, focus, and even mood stability. Walnuts are one of the richest plant sources of omega-3s, and unlike fish oil capsules, they come with fiber, protein, and a satisfying crunch. When and how to enjoy them. Eat 5-6 almonds and 3-4 walnut halves as a mid-afternoon snack. Or enjoy them 1-2 hours before bed, especially if leg cramps disturb your sleep. Add to yogurt, oatmeal, or a smoothie. Sprinkle into salads or vegetable soups. And if chewing is hard, you can chop or soak them slightly to soften. A note about portion and caution. Nuts are rich, so you don't need much. Stick with 1-2 tablespoons total per day. Avoid salted, sugar-coated, or honey-roasted versions. If you have digestive issues, start with smaller amounts. And always check with your doctor if you have kidney issues or nut allergies. The habit of mindful nourishment. There's something ancient, almost sacred about cracking. Let's start with a quiet image. It's morning. The house is still. The sun is rising, and you sit at the table, warming your hands on a bowl of oats, creamy, comforting, topped with banana slices, a few crunchy seeds, maybe a pinch of cinnamon. Simple, yes, ordinary, not even close, because that small bowl could be the reason your legs feel steadier today. Your energy holds longer, your blood sugar stays balanced, and your body feels more in sync. Why breakfast matters more after 60. You've heard the saying, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But after 60, it becomes essential, not just to start the day, but to set the tone for muscle function, blood circulation, nerve signaling, digestive comfort, and even your mood. The older we get, the more our body craves predictable rhythms, and breakfast is where that rhythm begins. The humble oat, a quiet protector. Oats are one of the best-kept secrets in nutrition for aging adults. Why? Because they are packed with complex carbohydrates for steady energy, contain soluble fiber, especially beta-glucan, which helps lower cholesterol and support gut health, provide small amounts of magnesium, iron, and vitamin B1, support a healthy nervous system, which is critical for preventing cramps, tremors, or fatigue. Seeds, tiny, mighty, and essential. Now when you add seeds to the mix, like chia, flax, sunflower, or pumpkin seeds, you boost the power of your breakfast in big ways. Here's what they offer. Magnesium helps your muscles relax and recover. Zinc supports nerve function and immune strength. Plant-based omega-3s reduce inflammation and protect blood vessels. Fiber helps digestion and keeps your blood sugar stable. Protein provides muscle fuel and satiety. Together, oats and seeds form a complete system for preventing leg cramps, supporting heart health, promoting digestive regularity, and giving you a strong, calm start to the day. The story of a leaner. My breakfast became my medicine. Alina is 70, lives in Arizona, and used to skip breakfast. She'd say, "Coffee's enough for me in the morning." But by 10:30 a.m. she was drained. Her legs would twitch. Her head felt foggy. She'd reach for cookies or crackers, quick carbs, little nutrition. When we reviewed her symptoms, I suggested one thing. Let's give you a new breakfast: warm oats, banana slices, chia seeds, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Just that. Try for 1 week. She did, and 3 weeks later she told me, "My legs feel less jumpy, I'm not shaky mid-morning. And surprisingly, I crave that quiet time now. My breakfast became my medicine." How to build your morning bowl. Here's a gentle formula. Base: a half-cup rolled oats cooked with water or plant-based milk. Add-ins: a half banana for potassium. 1-2 tablespoons of mixed seeds: chia, flax, sunflower, pumpkin. A handful of blueberries or apple slices for antioxidants and fiber. Toppings optional. A dash of cinnamon improves circulation. A spoon of Greek yogurt for protein and calcium. A drizzle of almond butter for healthy fats. Eat it warm with a spoon slowly. Let it anchor you. Overnight oats. For those with busy mornings. If cooking feels like a hassle, make it easier. Overnight oats are made the night before and served cold or slightly warmed. Simply mix oats, seeds, milk, and fruit in a jar. Let sit in the fridge overnight. In the morning, stir and enjoy. You've got breakfast ready before you even open your eyes. Cinnamon and ginger, circulation's quiet allies. Adding a dash of cinnamon or ground ginger to your oats can improve blood flow to your legs and brain. Warm the body gently, great for cold mornings. Support blood sugar balance. Add a cozy flavor without sugar. A morning ritual, not just a meal. Here's the deeper truth. Breakfast isn't just food. It's a signal to your body that you care, that you're not rushing, that you're willing to prepare your legs, your heart, and your brain for the day ahead. And when you combine oats with seeds, fruit, and warmth, you create a foundation of steadiness. A note for those with diabetes or sensitive digestion. If you have blood sugar concerns, choose steel-cut or old-fashioned oats, not instant. Pair with protein or fat, like yogurt or nuts. Keep fruit portions moderate. Monitor your response. Everyone's body is different. Let me take you back to something simple. A memory, perhaps. That moment you peeled a fresh orange in the morning. The bright scent filling the air. That first juicy bite, tart, sweet, clean. Now let me ask. What if I told you that this humble orange, this grapefruit, this kiwi, wasn't just a fruit, but a bridge between the minerals you eat and the strength your body keeps? Yes, I'm talking about vitamin C. But more than that, I'm talking about the way it unlocks everything else. Why vitamin C matters more than we think. As we age, we hear about calcium, magnesium, potassium. But vitamin C, it's often seen as just the cold prevention vitamin, a winter thing, a juice thing. But here's the truth. Vitamin C is the silent partner in every muscle movement. Why? Because it helps your body absorb calcium into bones and muscles, reduces small vessel inflammation, the kind that restricts blood flow to your legs, strengthens capillaries and veins, making them less prone to weakness or rupture, supports collagen production, which holds your joints and tissues together, and boosts antioxidant protection, helping your body handle oxidative stress. A real story. Michael, 66. I didn't think fruit could do that. Michael is a retired bus driver from Ohio. Big guy, grew up on meat and bread, never thought much of fruit, but at 66 he came to me complaining of cold feet in the morning, leg cramps after climbing stairs, and oddly enough, slow wound healing on a small scrape. His labs showed good numbers, but something felt off. When we dug into his habits, one thing stood out. He hadn't eaten fresh fruit in weeks, sometimes months. We started simple: one orange in the morning every day, sometimes a grapefruit half. Later, we added kiwi slices into his oatmeal, after 3 weeks. Doc, I don't know if it's placebo, but my legs feel lighter, warmer. I even walked the whole grocery store without needing the cart. Not placebo, just nutrients doing their job quietly. Citrus fruits more than just juice. Let's talk about the best vitamin C sources for older adults. Oranges. A medium orange provides 70 mg of vitamin C, nearly your full daily need. Grapefruit. Half a grapefruit offers about 40 mg, plus hydration and fiber. Kiwis. One kiwi contains 60-80 mg of vitamin C, and it's also rich in potassium and vitamin K. Lemons and limes. Great for adding to water, salad dressings, or herbal teas. And yes, you can also get vitamin C from red bell peppers, strawberries, papaya, and guavas. But citrus fruits are special because they're easy to digest, naturally hydrating, fresh and cooling, perfect for morning or midday energy. Why absorption matters. Let's go back to calcium for a moment. You can eat all the dairy, greens, or supplements in the world. But if you're not absorbing it, your muscles won't get the benefit. Vitamin C enhances calcium absorption, especially from plant-based foods like leafy greens or fortified milks. So if you're eating spinach, kale, or taking calcium tablets, pair them with a source of vitamin C. A squeeze of lemon, a glass of orange juice, a kiwi on the side. It's a small habit that opens the door to big benefits: inflammation and blood vessel health. Leg cramps and cold feet in older adults are often caused by microvascular inflammation. In other words, small blood vessels get stiff, narrow, or inflamed. This reduces oxygen delivery to muscles, which leads to tightness, fatigue, and nighttime twitching. Vitamin C reduces this inflammation. It also helps your body build stronger capillary walls, preventing leaks and damage, especially important if you're on blood pressure or blood-thinning medications. When and how to enjoy citrus fruits. Best time: morning or midday. Vitamin C supports energy and mental clarity. Pair with leafy greens, oatmeal, or a light protein. Don't overdo fruit juice. Choose whole fruit for fiber and slower sugar absorption. Mix into yogurt bowls, smoothies, salads, or simply enjoy fresh. And if chewing is a challenge, try blending oranges or kiwi into a smoothie with plant milk and oats. A gentle caution: if you have acid reflux, choose milder citrus or smaller portions. Kidney concerns: speak to your doctor about potassium levels in orange juice. Mouth sensitivity: opt for diluted juice or softer fruits like ripe kiwi. Remember, you don't need to overload. Just